Hello, welcome back to the Villa View. Birmingham City 0, Aston Villa 1, courtesy of Jack Grealish's left boot.
So Dan, absolute scenes at St Andrews. We've just finished watching the game, jumped on to do a quick video. Jack Grealish strikes back with the only goal of the game after that mental first half incident that we'll come on to in a little bit. General thoughts, what do you think?
Couldn't have happened to a better bloke, to be honest, coming in and scoring the winner, first time captaining Villa against Birmingham City. It's just the stuff that dreams are made of. I mean, Jack's achieved so many things now that Villa fans all over the world would love to have achieved, and I'm just absolutely chuffed for him. You know how much he loves the club, and it's a great moment. We just always seem to have that local lad that can just make Birmingham City fans cry, and long may it continue.
Did you think, with absolutely jumping ahead to the end of the game here, it was a little bit of a nervy end to say the least. Do you think we lost a little bit of that fear factor when Jack went off?
I think you're always going to have the kitchen sink thrown at you, to be honest. At the end of the game, you're always going to give up the ball because you're trying to defend. There was only 10 minutes left. I mean, obviously when he's on the pitch, we're more dangerous, and we're better with the ball because he's on the pitch. But I thought Bjarnason did okay coming on for him, to be honest, and helped us close out the game. Although it wasn't really a comfortable ending to the game. It's just look at another local lad's been a hero for us in Craig Gardner, because he should have absolutely buried that second one, especially that header. I mean, I don't know where our marking was. We've got away with it, but on a day like this, you just don't care, do you? No,
there was a few moments in the game like that. I think the Hawes penalty shout, at first I thought it was pretty soft, but then they showed a few replays, and arguably, I mean, you've seen them given out. It's one of those that you've seen fouls in today's game that you think there's nothing really in that, so it could have easily have gone their way.
I mean, they did show it 107 times on Sky, so the more you watched it, the more you did think it was a penalty. I suppose if it was the other way around, I'd be sitting here now saying it should have been a penalty. So
that's football, though, isn't it? We've got
away with it, but they just can't catch a break against us at the moment, Birmingham. And when you see scenes like you saw in the first half, you just think, good, it's deserved, and I'm sure fans around the country will be glad that Villa beat Birmingham City after seeing what happened at the start of the game. Yeah,
let's talk about that a little bit, because when it first happened and I knew that we were going to be doing this video, I almost wanted to come on and start by saying, we know what's happened, but I don't really want to talk about it too much. But the more you see that, it's a criminal offence for a start. The guy's already been arrested. Like, if you just went up and punched somebody in the back of the head I'm smiling while I'm saying this because it's so ridiculous and it's not funny. If you just went and punched somebody in the street, you'd be arrested for that. So the fact that, like, you're going to a football game, at this point it's midday on a Sunday. It's not like you've got this massive excuse like, it's a Friday night, people have been drinking all day. They still would have done, but it's still midday, it's 0-0, you're 10 minutes in, and some maggot comes onto the pitch and punches a guy from behind, cowardly.
Yeah.
Doesn't even hit him properly. I mean, not to say that if he hit him properly that would have been okay, but doesn't even do that right. What's the point? What are you doing with your life?
Just scum, mate. I mean, the fact is, it would have been premeditated. He'll have been giving it to the big one to his mates last night, saying he was going to do it, and his mates were probably there going, "Yeah, go on." But
I'd love to punch Jack Grealish. Go on, mate, you do it.
I mean, I imagine his mates thought there's no chance he's going to go on and do that. I mean, I think he's been identified on Facebook. People have found him. He's got a wife and kids. I mean,
good example for him, isn't it? For the kids.
The guy's going to ruin his life because he's going to go to jail, 100%, and rightly so. The guy's ruined his life. He's an idiot. Good. That's not one to tell the kids when you're older, is it? I was the guy that ran on the pitch and tried to punch a Villa player and got carried off.
When you say that, though, it probably will be a story down the pub for years to come, because that's the sort of mentality for a certain set of that fan base, that the next derby will come round and there'll be pictures and videos of that guy punching Jack Grealish and going, "Oh, can't wait for Derby Day, more scenes like this, please," because that's what some people like.
I mean, I've said on Twitter there'll be a framed picture of that in the cabinet next to that Barcelona ashtray. Absolutely guaranteed. And there'll be Blues fans who will be disgusted by what they've seen, but the reaction of when he did it and when he got carried off tells me everything that I need to know about that football club.
Yeah, applause and cheers all around for that hero.
It tells me everything that I need to know, and it was absolute justice that he's gone on and scored the winner. And you in our WhatsApp group, you said when it happened, I said, I get the feeling he's going to get the last laugh, and I felt the same. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to curse it, but it's just absolute justice that has happened. They deserve it. They fully deserve everything that they've got today, and I'm just absolutely delighted. And fair play to Jack, because he handled it way better than I would. He handled it way better than I would have handled it if it had happened to me. Way better than some other players perhaps on the pitch would have handled it. And it's just great that we've got these local players that just wind them up so much. And again, it tells me everything I need to know with a superior club, and long may this unbeaten run against them continue. And the bigger picture is as well, it has put us back in the hunt. I mean, talk to me again on Wednesday after the Forest game, but that's a massive 3 points. We've got away with some stuff, but that's been a tough place to go this season as well. St Andrews, and a derby day, obviously it's heightened, and it probably makes it more difficult. That's a fantastic result for us, because as much as I'm slagging off the guy that came on the pitch and stuff, they've had a good season, Birmingham, and they've been a good team in the Championship. I still think Gary Monk's probably Manager of the Year, in my opinion, but they've just got that small time mentality that always comes back and bites them, and I'm chuffed a bit, thrilled for Jack, thrilled for everyone that was there at the ground today. I mean, I'll never set foot in that ground. I don't want to ever have to go there. That's my mentality, rightly or wrongly. I don't ever want to have to go to St Andrews, but fair play to the thousands that were there today, because they'll be riding high now. They'll have had a great night last night, had a great day today, and I'm absolutely delighted for them, and they'll probably have a great night as well.
Yeah, just going back to Jack very quickly before we move on, I think Chris said in the group he's almost got every right to walk off here and say I'm not continuing, and the rest of the Villa players could have done the same. I think his reaction to it probably comes a little bit from his time as a player, being kicked by other players and fouled so often. When he first got into the team and he was getting kicked, he'd throw his arms around and complain, and fairly, but over time he sort of grown to go, shrug it off, get up and carry on, and the way he handled that today was the same. I think he was sat on the floor at one point, you could see a little wry smile on his face, while the rest of them were, I think Toro Mings and Tammy Abraham were getting stuck into this guy, but he just sort of sat there, sort of tried to shrug it off and carry on. And again, you almost say you can't write these things that he goes on to score, but a certain way you can. It was almost sort of built, there's those little coincidences that those sort of things do happen, that this guy gets punched in the back of the head, but fair play to him, carries on, scores the winner. He's the hero.
He's too good, mate. He's too good for us. He's too good for the Championship. But we're lucky that he does have this big love for the club. And if we don't get back to the Premier League, sooner or later, he will be gone. But he's up there with Ian Taylor for the amount he loves that club and representing Aston Villa and what it means to him and what it means to his family. We know how much him and his family love Aston Villa. We've been lucky enough to spend time with them and stuff like that. So we know what it means to them, and this will be the proudest day of his family's life, and it'll be the proudest day of Jack's life. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled for him all, and thrilled for everyone associated with Aston Villa. Talk
to me about the team section a little bit, because there was this big talking point in the game whether McGinn should come straight back in or whether we keep the team the same. Obviously, Taylor comes back in for Elphick because sort of that felt like the right decision to do that rather than put in Jedinak in at centre back. I wasn't a massive fan of that shout. What did you think about the team selection that started the game and how that sort of first half progressed? Because at half time, I almost was. I mean, this must have affected the players as well. That incident. I keep going back to it. I almost sort of had forgotten what had happened in that first half in terms of the football performance. That I didn't really feel like anything that major had happened, because I was sort of clouded by this incident, and the replays keep coming on, the commentators keep talking about, like, popping with an update that the guy's been arrested, and this whole thing just keeps spiralling, that the first half sort of seemed to pass me by, and I didn't really take much notice of anything that happened. But having said that, I don't think a fat lot really did happen.
No, first half passed me by, to be honest, because I was so livid about what had happened and what I couldn't believe. Well, I couldn't believe it. I wasn't actually surprised. But it's just
the other part of that is this opens up a bigger conversation about stewarding and safety for players and stuff, because it could have had a knife on him or a weapon or an acid attack or anything. We've all been to games and you see how they pat you down. You can pretty much get in. I mean, I'm not saying you can get in with what you want, but it wouldn't be too difficult for one of 25,000 to sneak a weapon in, and it's that guy that happens to get onto the pitch. He's already hit him from behind. He stabs him in the back. You've got obviously a major scene on your hands. This opens up a bigger picture about stewarding and safety in general, and it's just, I mean, I say Jack Grealish is lucky that he's only got punched in the head, but it could have been far worse than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult to blame the stewards, because the guys up and on the pitch. I mean, apparently I've not seen it, but apparently there was a steward giving Grealish digs as well, and apparently he's been arrested, so he can rot in jail as well, as far as I'm concerned. But a Villa fan's got in with a flare. I mean, what I'm saying is that, I mean, a flare's nothing at the end of the day. Okay, it's against the rules. The guy will probably get a ban, but it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. But if someone can get in with a flare, then they can get in with a little knife.
Yeah, that's my point.
No problem at all. And we are lucky that guy. Okay, he's a scumbag and he's an idiot. We're lucky he hasn't come on with a knife, because we could be talking about something that was far worse. And again, I just go back to Grealish's reaction. Maybe straight off the pitch, because we've just listened to him talk, and he doesn't realise the severity of the situation, and he's laughed it off. But that's a scary thing that people can get on the pitch. And really, and again, we've spoke about it this season about social media and fans thinking they can say and do what they want, and this is obviously another level above, or 10 levels above what we were talking about. But it's a society problem at the moment. I hate Birmingham. I like Connor said after the game, like the rivalry's all good, the banter, and I like that. But I hate Birmingham. You wouldn't ever see me doing anything like that to a Birmingham City player.
Yeah, and also likewise, if that was at Villa Park today, and as a Villa fan did that to, I don't know, Craig Gardner or whoever, I won't be going, hey, come on, hey, lads, as he gets cheered off. I'll be going, you're a scumbag as well, mate. Just because it's Birmingham, that's not why my opinion is so strong against this guy. If it was a Villa fan doing exactly the same, and like we've spoken throughout the game over WhatsApp and stuff. I'd like to think that the rest of the normal Birmingham fans, however many there are out there, they will feel the same way, that this guy doesn't represent Birmingham City. But at the time, maybe other people in the ground didn't at the time realise the severity of it as well, but there's an audible amount of people cheering this guy off, so they obviously thought that was okay as well.
Birmingham City fan has said this himself, that they've got some idiots that will only ever come for that game. And St Andrews is rarely full. That's not me having a dig at the Blues fans, but it's true. It's rarely full. But against Villa, it's full every single time. So it's a big deal to them, obviously, but people just take it too far. They can't. Yeah. You can't do stuff like that in life, let alone like just run on a football pitch and do it. It annoyed me when Sky were blurring out the guy's face, because he's made an adult decision there. He's tough enough to come on and run on the pitch and throw a dig. Let him.
So that's probably a legal thing. To be honest.
Maybe it is, but let his face come all out over the TV. He's made that decision. Let him live with the consequences, and he's going to have to live with the consequences now. And this video has just turned into us laying into that guy, but it was absolutely disgusting, and it's embarrassing for the whole of football.
It just feels like it's turned out into a bigger talking point than, like I said before, I didn't want this to blow up into just talking about the incident, but if this is a reaction of the game, that's a massive part of the first half and the rest of the game to come, because, this might be a subconscious thing from my point of view, but it felt like almost every little 50-50 from the ref seemed to go their way as well.
I didn't think the ref did a bad job, to be honest. I thought it was pretty fair. We've got away with some stuff, they've got away with some stuff, so I wouldn't have, for the first time ever, I wouldn't have a go at the Championship referee. To be fair, what I will say is, though, Gary Monk says before the game, we're not going to target Grealish, that's not what we're about. First chance Clifton Belt got, straight through him, and it's that kind of mentality from the players. That's what goes into the fan base as well. It's all one, in my opinion, and they've got this inferiority complex of Aston Villa, and that's what makes them like that.
There's also an article from Gary Monk, like an interview leading up to the game as well. I only saw the headline, and it was something like, since I've been here, I've been told just beat Villa, or whatever, words to that effect. I didn't read it because Birmingham. Yeah. But it's just that whole mentality of this is just like, you look at the season, and obviously everyone loves a derby. Everyone looks ahead to the fixtures when we play in Birmingham, when we play in whoever. But it's this massive, massive build-up, and everyone buys into it. And great, if you're supporting your side for it, and it's the biggest day of the season, and you're going to back the boys 100%, go for it. But if you're going to lead up to this game, get smashed, turn up, try and run on the pitch and punch a player because you've got this massive, we must beat Villa, everyone's won, here we are, big game. Stop coming. Football isn't for you if that's what you want to come to the games for. And if you're just showing up for a scrap and a fight, don't bother.
It's unbelievable, and it's a mentality that we can't understand, to be honest, because obviously we're not like that, but unbelievable. Let's talk about something else.
So just as I was editing this video, I've seen a club statement from Villa, so I'm just going to read that out for you now. Aston Villa Football Club is appalled by the disgraceful attack on Jack Grealish during today's game. A red line has been crossed by this cowardly on-field assault on a player, which is unprecedented in English football. We trust the perpetrator will feel the full force of the law and the authorities investigate the circumstances surrounding today's deplorable incident. Local rivalries are part of the fabric of the game, however, as we are sure our friends at Birmingham City would agree, to have a player's personal safety placed under such jeopardy is a serious cause for concern for the entire footballing community. When I watch him, I just have a massive smile on my face all the way through because he's a Villa boy and he is just so good. I remember 2-3 years ago when I came on here and I did a video saying he could become the best player in the Championship. And okay, I was probably a season or two out, but I got laughed at. I laughed at for saying that. It was one of our early videos. I don't know whether you can dig out the clip. In my mind, he will go up there for me with the likes of Ian Taylor, Paul McGrath, Marlon Harewood. In my head, he'll go up there with those absolute legends. Is there any? Obviously, we've won a derby game. Everyone's buzzing. But is there any sort of kind of aspects of today's game that didn't impress you? Is there any players that maybe didn't do it? I think it's a difficult day. I don't think you can ever take too much away from a derby game because it is always, it's a one-off, in my opinion. I thought the subs were good.
I thought
Yes.
I thought McGinn and Green tilted the game into our favour.
There was a chance straight away, wasn't there, that McGinn played it through to Grealish, I think, and he put it back across the box of Green for that diving header.
Yeah.
That was almost a couple of minutes after they come on, and you felt a bit of a momentum shift then.
Yeah, I mean, we've Connor's hit the bar as well. So
Yeah.
we had chances, especially in that second half, where we could have got more saying we need a second, and obviously it didn't come. I thought Tyrone Mings was an absolute monster.
Yeah, man of the match, I think.
I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. What a loan signing he has been, and we've got to move heaven and earth to get him in next season. We need him. He's too good for the Championship. Like the way he just comes out with the ball, deals with everything aerially on the floor. He's quick. We need to keep Tyrone Mings and build the team around people like Mings and like Grealish. And I'm starting to get that feeling now where I'm thinking, there's no way Jack's going to go. No way, which is a dangerous thing. But he's just got it made for him here. Everyone absolutely adores him, and we've just got to keep these kind of players. And I do think it'll be a case of going again in the Championship next season, if I'm being totally honest. We've got to make sure Mings is there because he'll be a massive part of Aston Villa going forward. He's such a good player.
I mean, I'm asking you to look into your crystal ball here, but let's just say we win the next two, Forest and Middlesbrough. Is playoffs doable then?
Yeah, but we've got to go there and win those next two. That's the thing. Wednesday will be tough for Forest away. We're guaranteed to beat Middlesbrough on Saturday because I can't make it. So absolute certainty that we'll get 3 points at Villa Park there. It's just this one midweek now. Like taking them. We've now gone ahead of Blues, who were ahead of us. Where are we now? 9th, 10th. We're back in the mix. But we've got to stay in the mix, and a lot of that will be to do with the next two games. So that's it for today's video. Obviously, we've tried to get something out pretty quickly, a reaction video, because we want to obviously jump on the momentum of us managing to beat our local rivals yet again. The podcast will be later on in the week this week, because obviously we've got a game on Wednesday. So Chris Dolan and I will be recording that on Thursday night, so that'll be with you sometime on Friday morning, all being well. And then there's a game on Saturday as well, so there'll be fan cams, all your usual jazz, although obviously not including me. Give us your comments below. Obviously, let us know what you thought of that shocking, embarrassing Jack Grealish incident, and let us know what you think of the local hero for going on and getting the last laugh and scoring that winner. Give the video a like as well if you have enjoyed this, and if you're not already subscribed to the Villa View with your post notifications on, then make sure you're doing that as well. Thanks for all the support. Up the Villa. Let's see you today.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.